We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels and ascended masters, to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us all along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
Be you. Just keep focused on you. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. We don't need any more of anyone else. We need you to be unique, beautiful essence of who you truly are. When Michelangelo was asked how he created David from a block of stone, he answered that David was already in the marble, and his role, as he saw it, was to get rid of the excess marble surrounding David. You are already a unique and perfect essence of the divine in motion. Allow yourself the grace of chipping away all that you are not, so you can know how marvelous you are. Don't concern yourself with becoming anything other than who you truly are within. Excellent advice, wouldn't you say? Reprogram reality. We can do this. We've been doing this. We're the only one that's been creating our life. The things that are considered good and the things that we name bad. So why would we program our life to be bad? It isn't bad. We name it bad. Do we have karma? Are we here to pay off that karma? Do we have contracts with people? Are we keeping those contracts? When we consider all of the aspects of what our life is based on, we start to realize there's going to be a mix. There's going to be times when it's very difficult to be here. There's going to be times when things are so good you think you died and went to heaven. But heaven is a state of consciousness. So you did go to heaven. You reached a certain point during that period of time where you actually got to feel what it feels like to be in total peace. This video was so well done because it is in our emotions, our desire for whatever it is that we're praying for, that will move those words, those thoughts into reality. When I pray for someone, I sometimes, and most of the time lately, start to cry spontaneously without even thinking about it. I'm so emotionally attached to what I'm saying, what I'm asking, no, actually thanking God for. I don't ask God for anything. I thank God as if it already happened. A very important component to prayer. You're not a beggar. You see, you're divine. You're a divine being. And the universe responds to God's voice. So when you do a prayer for yourself or for someone else, do it with all of your heart. Feel it emotionally charged. And those words will go out into the universe and manifest itself. Come full circle back to you, the sender. So this life of ours, why do we have to reprogram it? Because we've got so caught up in the negative side. in the side where our fear, our experiences catch up with us, start bringing us to a place of not trusting, not believing, and we hold ourselves back. We stop moving forward. Like a kid pulling the blankets over their heads so they won't see the boogeyman at night. We can't do that anymore. There's nothing out there that can hurt you except what you believe within you. So if you're afraid, get in touch with what you're afraid of. Really tap into it. And then let it go. There's nothing to fear. There's just something to heal. You see? Something to address inside you. When I'm having a day and I feel stressful, like lately, I have to sit down and say, Barbara, you need to take 5 minutes to yourself. You don't have to be running every second. And you can say that out loud and you will be respected. So I practiced that today. It was amazing. It was amazing what happened, how everything changed, where I didn't feel that stress anymore. Practice this. Try it out in your life. Anything that gives you a run for your money, where you feel like you have to work so hard with. Try it. Change your reality by not responding or reacting the same way, because nothing's going to change until you start thinking different. And then when you say your prayers, tell God, thank you for showing me the way. Thank you for directing me. Thank you for guiding me into this understanding. Be very grateful and then practice it. You've got to practice. Sometimes it's really, really hard because it's something you've been doing your whole life. Some things you don't even realize. You put up with your life instead of enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? You let things happen because you didn't want to deal with it. We all did it. Sometimes we still do it. But if things are not the way you want it in your life, change the way you live your life, how you think your life forward, what your desires are, what your needs are. Put it out there. And you say, oh, well, I don't know how this is going to happen. You don't need to know. Leave it to the universe. It'll take care of it. It'll change it. I am a perfect example. I can speak about this because I transformed every aspect of my life that wasn't working. I did. And that's why I can speak about this with such surety that it is true. It is the way. Gregg Braden, he had a tough life. He worked his way into his heaven world. He learned. He really did. Just like me, the hard way. A good man, very humble. He doesn't have to be full of himself because he knows who he was and how hard it was to get there. The people in your life, each one of them is different, isn't it? You feel differently about each one. You relate to each one differently. Everybody comes in with something else, some other energy. Really look at them, listen to them. The things that you identify in them, get them out of you so that they don't have to show you anymore. You see? They're showing you what you still carry inside you. You're not doing it. You learn not to do it, but the energy's still there. And that's why we came together. all of us, with who we have in our personal lives. They are the ones. Who could trigger you better than your kid, husband, friends, the closest ones? Who could trigger you better than them? They know you inside out and upside down, and you know them. You see? And just because we don't do something or a behavior or an action doesn't mean we don't still have it in us if we are witnessing it in our life. I'm witnessing things because I'm a caretaker right now that I said, oh my God, do I have work to do? All these little things that you would never think were there that irritate you or makes you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. Those are the things that really bring your awareness. Yeah, it's me. Who else would it be? I'm the one that's upset. I'm the one that feels pressured. I'm the one. You're reacting to yourself, but others are showing us because we don't want to look at that. You see? Who wants to look at that? We want to see how beautiful we are. Well, we are. That's the truth about us. So how do you reprogram your reality? Start to really be a good witness of your life and of those that are in your life, their behavior patterns, the things that you feel they're falling short. Get it out of you so that they don't have to show you anymore. That's the formula. And it works. I'm living proof that it works. Are we ever done? Sometimes I wonder. But it gets easier because the more peace that you live each day, the more you want every cell in your being to be that peaceful. You see? So even a little something that irks you is not acceptable. You want peace continuously. And if you don't have it in your life, it's up to you to witness it from outside you, cleanse it from inside you, and then watch the magic, how it can't be given to you anymore. There's no button to push. Magnetically, it can't come to you. A lot of people don't want to be mean. They don't want to say what they really need to say. We have big hearts, and it makes it tough for us to do this. But if you do it in the right way, and you do it for the right reasons, everybody is already aware that this needed to be done. We help them. We take a job off their hands. They can go do it to somebody else. We're done. The program is complete. We have rewired ourselves into this new creation, and we do not have to suffer anymore. Nobody makes you suffer. Nobody, even though it looks like that. It's all internal. It's wild if you break it down to the components of what a life and how it expresses itself. It's almost like you're looking at a mirror in front of you. We think we're looking at that person, but we see the reflection of ourself in their field and in their behavior, even though we're not doing what they're doing. I'm telling you, this is wisdom personified. It really is. There's nobody to blame out there. Nobody. There's just everyone to thank for showing us what we need to see. I don't want to see somebody hurting or saying mean things. I don't want that. But I also don't want it inside me. So I take it very personally. Take it personal. People say, oh, that's them. I'm going to walk away from them. I don't like how they are. Well, you can walk away. That's fine. But take the gift that they gave you. Even if it's something you're not doing anymore. You know you did it at some point. Even if it wasn't in this lifetime, but a lot of us, it was in this lifetime. And now it's time to give it up. Give it up with a great deal of emotion. You deserve a life of peace, joy, health. The more aggravated and the more you put up with things in your life that you're just trying to just deal with it, the more it makes us sick. It takes our health away because our body's stressing from it. It's not out there. It's inside us. Yeah. So what do? We become really good listeners. We become very good at observing everything around us, especially the ones closest to us. The things that you absolutely adore in other people, that's you. That's your amazingness. It is. And enjoy that too. It's not always the bad things. Be observant of the beautiful things because you need to see your beauty. You need to know what a heart you've got. Whew. And most of the world would never open their heart like you do. Remarkable, remarkable souls. But it can be painful. Life can be very painful. But we can change that by reprogramming ourself. You see? I'm not afraid to say, oh my God, it's me. What I just witnessed, because it made me sick inside. It made my stomach hurt so bad to witness myself or to see somebody like the other day at the store and the lady was just barking at her husband. I guess it was her husband, looked like her, might have been, and just barking at him, barking at him, barking at him the whole time that I was going by. And I thought to myself, I heard that and it made me feel really bad. Do I bark? Maybe I bark too. So I was really conscious about it. And I caught myself barking. And I went, whoa, look at that. When I least expected it, I got to see it. Isn't that crazy? But it's true. So what did I do? I had a good cry. I let it go. I handed it to God with all my love and said goodbye. I don't want to be like that because I watched it and it hurt just to watch it, no less to do it. We are the programmers and we can reprogram what we already programmed into our experience. That's how powerful you are. Now, going to the other aspects of the conversation. People are getting really hung up, including my children, on technology kind of overriding their natural instincts about taking care of themselves. Oh my God, my heart rate was up. Well, were you in the gym? Did you walk up and down the stairs 3 times? Think about it. We get over stimulated by looking at this all the time. I would never wear one of those watches. Never, ever, ever. I know when I had too much. My heart's pounding. I can't breathe. I sit down, right? I sit down. Common sense. And I rest it out. Now, if I'm really sick, I go and I get diagnostics done and I find out what's going on. I kind of know. But I don't just sit there and wait for somebody to heal me. I start working on myself. You see? Don't wait for anyone to heal you, because even if the best care was given to you, if you don't believe that you can be healed, or if you hear yourself saying, oh, I'm finished, this is going to take me out, let me tell you, it will. Use your words and your emotions wisely. If you get upset, keep zipped. Don't be saying words out loud and adding to the problem, because you're just going to manifest it to happen. You see, everything goes out from you, comes back to you, one way or another, at one time or another, and you will feel the impact of your emotions. So if you're upset, get into a purge state. Your higher self will put everything around you, get you all set up with the violet fire, and it stays with you. What happens at the lake stays at the lake, everybody says up here. Well, what happens when you're purging stays where you're purging. It doesn't go out and hurt anybody, and it won't come back to you. You see, this is a master I'm speaking about, a master of your life. And that's who you truly are. Why did we come here to this place with so much pain and suffering, and yet we can find joy here? Why? To get rid of the pain and suffering, to get out of that mindset, to realize all we need is to have solutions to everything and have the guts to carry it out. You've got to be strong here. Yeah. Everybody says, oh, years ago, all I heard was, this is so easy here. This is kindergarten. This is, I said, really? Who told you that? I'm telling you, it's the truth. I said, you don't have any clue what you're talking about. This is graduate school. And when you're done with this, you earned the right to be in a heavenly consciousness. Hurrah! But it's all about you, your willingness to reprogram your reality into what you want to see, what you want to feel, what you want to experience. Now, when you have people around you that are very, very sick, it doesn't mean you're very, very sick, okay? That's not what we're talking about. When you're around people who are very, very sick, you're there to be the light in their life. That's what you are for. I had a big, long conversation with somebody today, other than Sarah. And this lady has been taking care of her 90-something-year-old mother, who is fighting old age, and what it's like to have to be caretaking somebody that wants their independence. Oh boy, is she giving her a ride for her money. But by the time we got done with the conversation, we both laughed and realized, you know what? It is what it is. And I'm here because I have a contract. I signed the contract that when my parents would get old, I would be there for them. Not my brother, not my sister, me. And I did it. And I did it with love. Yes, I had my days. But when I have my days, I take care of my emotions. And then I come out with a smile because I clear it away. Are you willing to do that for yourself? Hmm? Hmm? Because nobody's going to do it for you. They can't. They've got to do it for themselves. And some won't do it. They want to be right just the way they are. And they don't care what's right. It's going to be my way or the highway. Yeah, good luck with that. That's the life of misery. I used to say to some of the big executives that I used to work with personally, counseling, I'd say, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? And sometimes they would choose right. It's what I say that goes. I said, really? So are you happy when you could prove that you were right? And they said, sometimes. I said, okay, all right, that's fair enough. I said, but when the day comes that you don't have to be right and you'd rather choose happy, that's the day you're going to feel much better about your job. And a lot of them took me up on that and started practicing that. When you work with a lot of people, whatever field it's in, and you're pretty much managing things, it's so smart of you to just be one of the workers. They know who you are. They know if you tell them they have to do something that they do. But be one of the workers. Show them you don't think you're better than them. I did it my whole life, and I was so successful with every group of people that I worked with because I didn't make believe I was so important, because I wasn't. I was just in a position I was qualified for. You see? So your job right now, the biggest, greatest job you'll ever have, is working on you, perfecting you. You know what you're hiding. You know what you did. You know what's troubling you. Nobody else knows. They can guess. In fact, a lot of people would rather guess about other people than work on themselves. It's so much easier. But usually they just don't know the story. That's why you can't judge it. You don't know what karma they have together, right? You don't know. You only know what karma you have with somebody else because it plays out in your life. Let everybody go. Let them go to grow, to transform themselves, to find their way. Because I'll tell you what, the tougher it gets, the more people will wake up because they can't stay asleep when they're trying to go beyond survival. They've got to wake up to do that. So there's hope for everyone that's willing. And for those that aren't willing, they'll suffer. And your prayers is what will sustain them. Your blessings, your light, not so much your words, which is true. It's your love that you project at them. To reprogram your reality is to take a stand like the master that you are and start working on the areas that are not bringing you joy and see what happens. Gotta watch my time. So in my life, I had done this. I can't tell you how many people I had to do this with. I was never left to just sit and just play like a lot of other people. My life was a life of work because I couldn't stand the pain anymore or the suffering. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I took the step to taking responsibility for my life and stop blaming everybody else for my misery. And I learned to smile for real. I learned to love the unlovable. I learned to like myself and then to love myself just the way I was, whatever stage I was at. And then, only then did I start to get it, that nobody ever hurt me, even though it looked like it. My whole childhood was miserable. It wasn't them. It was me and my belief system that I came in with. And knowing what my last life was, I understood now. Later, when I discovered my last life, I absolutely was repeating the things I suffered in that lifetime. Yeah. I brought it with me. So those are the first things I took care of. And it worked. It didn't work at first, according to my observation, but it did when I was steadfast with it. I wasn't going to fall for it anymore. No more pity parties. And I took a stand. You know, people say that when people get older, like me with all the gray hair going on, they can say whatever they want. What are they going to do to an old lady, right? But it isn't even that. You can do it at any age, as long as you have already worked on what you're expecting somebody else to be working on. You see? If you haven't done your inner work about something that is a behavior pattern, that is something you're having to live with, it isn't going to work. They're not going to hear you. What? I don't hear you, because you haven't done it. You have to do it first. What was that saying? To do whatever you want to see in the world, you have to do it first for you. So keep that in mind, that if nobody's listening to you, even though you're giving good advice, it's because that same advice was for you first. You see? And if you take that advice and work yourself through it, you reprogram your reality. And then when you speak, your words will have authority and people will listen. They will hear you because you have already mastered that within yourself. That is the process of reprogramming your reality. So I'll finish this up after questions and answers period. And thank you so much for listening. Those that see this on YouTube, you can join us for all three segments at ourdivineorigin.com and send me an email and I will sign you right up. God bless you. Thank you. And I turn the mic over to Tanya.
Thank you, Barbara. John, can you please pause? I can't see if you are recording, but if you are recording, can you please pause the recording?
That beautiful song, Spirit Lead Me. Remember, pray to your higher self, the Christ in you. Have faith and hope always that your prayers, your wishes, your desires will be given to you, pressed down and overflowing. Just do it right. Don't beg. Don't beg. Stand tall. Be the master. Be the God and goddess that you are. And you thank God for each and everything that you've asked for. And watch it unfold so beautifully in your life. Faith and hope. They'll always be there, bringing you forward, holding you together till you see it happen. Thank you so much for listening. Amen. So reprogram your reality. Let me tell you, if we will do what we heard here during the questions and answers, if we would just look at our life, find the places in our life we haven't really done anything with, it's still the same old, because you know how it is. Whatever, if you're making a soup even, and you keep putting the same ingredients in, are you expecting it to taste different? It isn't. Same with life. If you keep doing what you always did, reacting instead of responding, being quiet when you knew you had to say something, whatever it is for you. If you leave it alone and just keep allowing it to be what it always was, your life will continue in the same way. When you're ready to really observe yourself and say, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. I'm miserable when it comes to whatever it is you didn't master yet. And it's not about yelling at somebody else and making them want to change, because that ain't going to work. It's us taking the responsibility within ourselves and changing ourselves, not allowing us to go in that direction, not allowing the situation to play out over and over and over the same way. It's shame on us if we don't, because we can't. What can we do? We're miserable. You don't want to live a life miserable. Find out what's making you miserable and do something about it. It's that simple. It doesn't hurt. It gives you such empowerment. It makes you feel so good about yourself that you actually change something that has been happening your whole life. You see? You can do it. Others have done it. You witnessed it here. And there's hundreds of thousands of other people that have done it too. That's how you find your joy. It's not out there. Nobody can make you happy, because what makes you happy today may not make you happy tomorrow. You see? But you know what makes you happy. You know what makes you feel content, makes you feel worthy, makes you feel powerful, makes you feel loved. It's everything you give yourself. You don't need to wait for anybody to do this, because they can't. They can try. They can do nice things and you can enjoy it, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what goes on deep down inside you that plugs away at you. And people wonder why they get sick. They get sick because they're holding back. They don't have a voice, because we don't give ourselves a voice. We don't stop behavior that we just cannot tolerate anymore. But we don't do it through the other people. We do it inside. And you said, most people will say to me, but I'm not doing it. How can I ask for something to stop that I'm not doing? Well, when you're not going to have to deal with that situation again, that would be enough for me to go and do something about it, right? Otherwise, you're going to have to suffer through the same behavior for the rest of your life. Or you go running off into the sunset and lock yourself in a world without other people, so that you can just be in the silence of your own screaming mind, because it's not going to let you rest and it's not going to go away. Somebody will do it the 1 minute you have to go out to the grocery store, as we use that analogy most of the time. Somebody will show up to show us. You see? Be the master of your own life. You can reprogram it. You can make anything happen. Just care enough to seek the joy that you deserve. You deserve it. You deserve to be joyful, to be at peace, to feel loved, especially by your own self, respected and honored, instead of saying, oh, I'm so stupid. You know, I hear people say that all the time. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're beautiful and holy, divine. So you need to think about that when you say those words. Your whole body reacts to it. It goes, oh, God, I'm trying so hard to serve her or him. And look what they say. It hurts. Every cell has intelligence in it. Yeah. And then there's those that are in your life making you laugh, bringing you joy, doing nice things. That's you too. You've got to remember that. It isn't always the downside. There's always that beauty, even from our pets. I don't have one right now, except a little ghost that lives in my house. But when you have your pets and they look at you and they love you, no matter what, they love you so much. Drink that love in. They came here for that very purpose. Enjoy. Enjoy that. Enjoy whatever you do bring to your life. And find the joy in everything. Because if you just do things for another reason, other than for the pure joy and love and feeling a sense of purpose, then you're missing out on a big part of the formula. And you really deserve much more. You really do.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, your future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to the new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.